Once upon a time, in a small village by the river, there lived a man who was unattractive but very strong. Every meal, he could eat a lot, but he had fallen into the trap of alcohol, drinking day and night with no stable job. He used to be a successful businessman, but since his wife passed away from a severe illness, his life began to spiral downwards. From that point on, he drowned himself in alcohol, living a purposeless life without worrying about the future. His wife was the only one who loved him wholeheartedly. She was a hard-working wife, enduring and caring for him through difficult years. She knew that he was not a bad person. It was just the sadness and wounds in his heart that made him lose himself. Still, she persistently cared for him, hoping that one day he would wake up and realize what he had missed. Before she passed away, she left him a special gift, a loyal dog. It was the family's pet dog, very intelligent and faithful. She told him that the dog would be his companion, the one friend he could trust in his lonely life. But he never paid attention to her words. To him, the dog was just a nuisance, wasting time and energy. Every day, he continued to drink, never bothering to care for the dog. The loyal dog always followed him from morning till late at night, lying next to him whenever he was drunk. But he never loved it, and in fact, he grew annoyed whenever the dog tried to be near him. He had often yelled at it, scolded, and even chased it out. "Go away, you're just a useless dog," he shouted when the dog tried to wake him up after a drunken night. But the dog never left. It always returned, trying to stay close to its master. One day, after drinking, he decided to sell the dog to free himself from this nuisance. He called his close friend and said, "Take it away, sell it to anyone. I don't need it anymore." His friend was surprised but took the dog away, knowing that the man was no longer in his right mind. The dog, with eyes full of loyalty, looked at him with pain but still obediently followed the friend without protest. However, strange things began to happen. Even though the dog was sold to someone else, it didn't forget its old master. After several days of wandering, exhausted, the dog found its way back. The man, drunk, was lying on an old armchair when he suddenly heard the dog's footsteps. "You're still alive," he shouted angrily. But the dog didn't react. It simply looked at him with sad eyes, with no anger or resentment. In anger, he chased it away again, but each time the dog returned, no matter how many wounds or how much hunger it had endured, it found its way back home. One time, when he woke up from a drunken stupor, he found the dog badly injured. Its leg was hurt. Blood everywhere, but the dog's eyes never left him, as if to say, "I still love you, no matter what you do." At this point, the man started to feel heartache. But instead of caring for the dog, he chased it away once more. This time, the dog didn't come back. The man felt an emptiness in his heart, but then he drowned himself in alcohol again, never caring about the animal's feelings. Time passed and the man's health deteriorated due to alcohol. One day, he woke up in pain, feeling his body weakening. He realized he didn't have much time left. On a fall afternoon, while sitting in his old armchair, he suddenly heard a knock at the door. When he opened it, he saw the dog standing there, tired and emaciated, but its eyes were still full of love. The man painfully realized that all these years, the dog had always been by his side, never leaving. But now, the dog no longer had the strength to stand. The dog collapsed on the floor, breathing heavily. At that moment, the man's tears flowed. He knelt down, holding the dog tightly, regretting how poorly he had treated it. He whispered, "I'm sorry, dog, I'm sorry." The dog gently licked his hand as if accepting his apology. But then the dog couldn't bear it anymore. It closed its eyes and passed away in his arms without a bark, without a word of complaint. The man held the dog tightly, crying like a child. In the final days of his life, the man lay in bed, too weak to do anything. He only wished that when he passed away, he would be buried next to his loyal dog to make up for the wrongs he had done. He knew that no matter how late, the dog was the only friend, the only family he had ever had in his dark life. When he passed away, the villagers felt a deep sorrow, a sense of loss. They knew that the man had a good heart, but life had pushed him onto the wrong path. And they also knew that no matter what, the dog would always be a part of his life story. The villagers fulfilled his last wish to bury him next to his beloved dog. When the two graves were placed side by side, everyone felt a strange sense of harmony. He and the dog, though gone, had found each other in another world, a world without alcohol, without pain, where only loyal love and forgiveness remained. And just a story about a loyal dog, this is a lesson about regret and unconditional love, that no matter how wrong a person may be, sincere love and loyalty will always guide us back to the right path.
Thank you all for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.